if you are in a relationship, being in a relationship where you can have open communication,
Yes.
really good dialogue, the difficult conversations, so that if or when something does come up that feels potentially a little odd, you all can address it together.
Right.
Instead of you feeling like you need to go outside to someone else or try to figure something out yourself. When you
Absolutely.
have a partner here, like this is my person now.
Yes.
You're my person. So
Yeah.
if I'm having issues, then you're my guy.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely. Same. I mean, it's mutual. It's a mutual thing. She's my sounding board. She's my everything. But when we're talking about communication, she's definitely the person that I go to, the person I bounce things off of, ideas, advice, all of those things. It's gonna come through her first. She's gonna know about it, and her input is gonna be valued as, it holds a special place, a special level or importance of value when it comes to my decision making. She has a lot of influence on my life and my decisions, I guess is the best way to put it.
and I was about to say, you are giving us a perfect segue into a quick video that we came across, and it speaks specifically to what you just mentioned regarding influence and allowing influence from your partner in the relationship and the importance of that, and our ability to recognize if or when we are or are not allowing that influence in the breakdown that it can cause when you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like she said, that was a segue into the next video. Let's take a look at it. And yeah, we'll let this one play through. It's short, so we'll let it play through, let y'all grasp the entire message, and then we'll come back and talk about it on the back end.
And we'll chat.
Sexual relationships. When a man doesn't accept the influence of his female partner, there's an 81% chance that relationship ends. I'm not saying women don't need to do their part. I'm not saying men are the only problem. But I am saying we better be sure we're not making this fatal error in our relationships. Men, are you sharing power? Do you truly consider her an equal? Are you accepting her influence? Because if not, you're rolling the dice, and the odds aren't in your favor. And just to be clear, on page 233 of their book, Fight Right, Doctors John and Julie Gottman say, accepting your partner's influence does not mean simply collapsing into whatever your partner wants. It simply means being open to your partner's ideas. It means seeking to understand their feelings or perspective. It means humbling yourself enough to change your mind when new information is presented to you. Because the truth is, there's no room for pride or dominance in your relationship on either side. This thing only thrives on mutual respect and mutual consideration. She is your equal. Her perspective holds the same value as yours does. And of course this goes both ways. I'm just saying men in general, we tend to intentionally or unintentionally drift towards a more dismissive or dominant personality, and that path has a destination. And if you want to hear more about these conflict dynamics, I got the pleasure to interview the Gottmans directly with my friend Matthias. And if you'd like to see that interview completely free, of course, click the link in my bio.
All right, so as you can see, that video there is talking about influence, equality, and he's speaking more to men, but he is definitely talking about it being reciprocal, obviously. But, in his speaking to men, in that he's talking about us as men, putting, that pride, that ego, all of those stereotypical stupid things that we've heard about in a male-dominated culture, of, places and positions and stuff like that, putting a lot of that thought process to the side and actually just building a bond and a unit with your partner, giving them equal everything in it. I mean, we come together as 100%, we're both putting 100% effort into everything that we are building together, our relationship, our household, all of the ventures that we are going into together. We are both putting 100% into them. And so if she's putting the same 100% into it that I'm putting into it, I can't give less value to her 100%. So that's a lot of what I'm taking out of that video. And it's a big key to having a successful relationship. I mean, because I don't think we will be able to communicate openly and with the excuse me, open vulnerabilities and stuff like that we do if we didn't feel safe in it. And will we be able to feel safe if we weren't valued? If I wasn't giving her the proper value, the equity, the inclusion, you know, all of that stuff, if I wasn't exhibiting that and showing her that her everything, her words and everything that she gives to this relationship is of that value, then number one, she's going to probably feel the resentment from it. She's not going to want to give it, you know, the same way because it's not being appreciated. It's just natural human response. So that's why we have to do that. And again, it's a reciprocal thing. It goes both ways. So if I'm doing that and I'm doing that, giving her all of that value, giving her the inclusion, the equity, making her feel like an equal partner in this relationship, she in turn does it for me.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to do that. Like it makes me feel, I know safety is a big thing for me. And being able to feel safe in a relationship in a number of ways, it allows me to show up softer than I would usually or otherwise, because I feel safe enough to do so, right? I feel safe enough to relax some. Like, for instance, whenever we go out places, it's very different when I'm with you versus if I'm, of course, by myself or even with other people.
Right.
I feel my safety is different with you. I know that I will be differently protected with you. Mm-hmm. And that is something that I just can't, I don't even know how to put enough importance on for me and for, I know a lot of people, and I don't want to say just women, but that's a big deal.
Yeah. And I mean, us as men, especially men in relationships with a person, you know, and especially a man in a heterosexual relationship, that's the only place I can speak from. You know, no, everybody's relationship is what it is. You love who you love. I don't care about that. But I can only speak from my experiences. So a lot of that we have to understand is providing what it is that it are the things that are most important for her. So, you know, I know that safety is a thing that is important for her. I know that, you know, prior to her becoming my wife, her father provided a lot of safety for her. She felt safe in environments. You know, she didn't have to worry about certain things. Mm-hmm. So I knew taking her out of that environment, those are things that I would need to take over in providing. And if I wanted her to stay the same person that she is, you know, that I am kind of taking from that environment. I don't want her to come out of that environment and turn into a totally different person. You know, yeah, she's going to be different over time, you know, as we grow together, as we build our own home that doesn't have, say, maybe the influence of her mother on it because her mother's not living in the house, those types of things. But at the same time, I still want her to stay the same spirit and soul, and because that's the person that I met, fell in love with, and, you know, married. So to do that, it becomes my responsibility to provide some of those things that she really, it's a need for her, you know, in order for her to live the life that she wants to and be the person that she is, certain things need to be provided. So if I'm providing that safety, you know, that gives her the comfort to live a certain way, stuff like that without certain worries, that will allow her to, again, be the person that I really need her to be for me, which is the person that I married. You know, I don't want her to change into some other version that is a less natural version of herself, let's say.
Right? Right. We want to foster in our relationships whatever brings out the most authentic, full, highest vibrational version of that person that we can.
I agree.
And offering honesty and open communication, I believe, are paramount in creating that.
Absolutely. And it's something that is maybe learned through practice, I guess you can say. I mean, really. I mean, being honest, it's just, it is what it is. Either you're going to tell the truth or you're not in a situation. That's just a decision that you make at that time, right? So being honest with your chosen partner, your spouse or whatever, that's just something that you have to choose to do. And then accepting their honesty is another part of it. See, it may be easy for you to be honest. Just like it's easy for some people to tell a lie. But is it easy for you to accept another person's honesty? Because is it easy for you to accept their lie? Think about that. It's not easy to accept a lie from another person. You know, if you find out a person lied to you, it's not easy to accept that. Or if they're lying to you right there in the moment and you know they're lying to you, it's not easy to accept that. So you have to make it easy to accept their honesty then. If it's not going to be easy to accept a lie, then you have to make it easy to accept their honesty. I mean, it has to be one or another. What do you want them to do? You want them to lie to you, or want them to be honest with you? Make it easy for them to do one.
Right.
So if you make it easy for them to be honest with you, then they won't feel the need to lie to you. And if you can work on yourself with making it easier for you to accept their honesty, radical honesty, even if it's something you don't like to hear sometimes. If they say, like, if you've been wearing a certain type of cologne as a man all this time, and this person hasn't said anything about it, they've just tolerated it, but they say, you know, I really don't like that cologne. For whatever their reason is. They may just not like the scent. They may not like it because an ex wore it and that ex used to beat the hell out of them. They may not like it because they had an abusive parent that wore it. There may be a multitude of reasons they don't like it, but they like you. Is it really that big of a deal for you to continue wearing that cologne because that person was radically honest with you about a situation that probably made them feel a little vulnerable to share with you if they've been, for lack of hurting your feelings, keeping the truth from you? Let's not even say they're lying to you.
Right.
Let's just say they're not making it a big deal, but they finally decide to come out and be radically honest with you. It's up to you how you respond to that and whether or not you make it easy for them to be radically honest with you in the future.
Right. That's such a great example, babe, because consider, like you said, the vulnerability that it takes in that moment for the person to come up with what they hope are the right words to address something with you that has, I'm sure, been bothering them for years, but they have sacrificed and settled to live their people-pleasing perspective that they had been in. And once they make a change to finally support themselves, if you respond in a way that is like defensive, imagine how that would make them feel.
Right.
Like they're of all these years, they've not said something to you about this thing. They finally have this strength or the confidence, whatever they needed, to be able to bring that to your attention. And then the first thing that you say is, well, I've done it all this time.
Right.
Yeah. And I haven't said anything to you all this time.
And it's annoyed me all this time or whatever.
And you're not even acknowledging the fact. Well, that fact. You're not even acknowledging that.
Right. Right. You're giving that no acknowledgement. You've just gone into whatever it is you want to think, feel, or say about it, not even giving any time to acknowledge what that person, a person who you claim to care about and obviously cares about you, to have put it to the side all of this time. You're not taking any time to consider what it is they may be thinking or have been feeling the entire time.
Right.